Hello, it's Genrih speaking. So, a while ago, I got in some comments asking, like, hey, Genrih, how do you make your animatics? What do you use? Where do you draw? Um, I decided to answer this. I don't remember how long ago I screen recorded this. Let me check. Uh-huh. Uh, yeah, yeah. Well, better late than never. So, my every animatic starts with me preparing the audio track for me to use later, because audio is a base for me. That's where I'm going for, that I'm going from. Haha, that's where I start, and that's basically where I get all of my ideas. Maybe it's not the healthiest way to make animatics, but this works for me. Usually I choose the video, like if it's a music video, I choose the video where I had the lyrics on my screen so I can really glue together the audio and lyrics together. Like it just makes work easier for me. Here on the screen you can see the process of me making You Belong Here, Secret Life Animatic featuring Scar. And yeah, on the screen you see JT GT Machinima, GT Music, I don't even know, video with the lyrics. And for the animatic itself, I needed to compile together, to glue together two different parts of the audio. As you can see here, I try to make it work. I try to cut different parts and see like if the beat works, because you need a seamless transition in between of those. And this process could take me, I don't know, up to half an hour, maybe hour if it's a really complex audio track. And sometimes, as you can see here, we have less complex, like maybe a couple of I don't know, soundtracks. And sometimes we have a really complex thing when you need to really work itself through every audio that you have to make sure that every volume is okay, that everything is heard clearly but not too loud, or if your voice effects or just general sound effects are working and it's not something so obscure and weird to your ear. You need to really spend some time here and to process what is going on there. After I have my audio done, it's time to draw, it's time to create. And uh, here we have something interesting, because I don't use storyboards. I don't use them, I don't like them. It sure it make life easier, but it takes this pressure time that I could have spent on drawing actual frames. Instead, I just spent it on, I don't know, roughly sketching whatever I wanted to be. And yeah, that's not working for me. So yeah, I'm just making sure that I'm not spending any unnecessary time on some processes so I can spend this time on an actual project. If the storyboard is something necessary for you, absolutely go for it 100%. But if you, like me, like finish projects halfway down or not even halfway down, uh, maybe you should reconsider your process, like your steps, and rethink your process. When I'm starting my new project, I create a new folder and rename it something that I can find later. It's not necessary, but I think it's a neat trick if you, like, for organizing your stuff. As you could already seen, I'm not doing this the correct way, I would say. I'm not using any animation apps or programs, and I draw every frame by itself. And then later on, I animate and edit everything together in the video editor program. uh, sure, animation apps would be really helpful here and would really make the process easier, but they just scare me. I don't know. I don't have mental capacity to understand it yet. I don't know. It's just time. I just make things that comfortable for me, and like I use things that comfortable for me to use. I drew everything in Medibank Paint Pro, and I edit and put everything together in Movavi Video Suite or video editor, whatever. I use only two programs and nothing else. When you color your animatics, you need to consider the surroundings and the backgrounds for every characters, because this is the part where it really sells the mood and the vibes of the scene that's going on to your viewers and to like everyone who watches this animatic in the finish, in the end. For example, here I already knew that the background is going to be dark, and every color that is in the character design needs to be somewhat darkened that it is actually is, because that's just how light and color theory works. Do I know anything about color theory or light theory? Of course, no, but it doesn't stop me to use those words to appear more knowledgeable. And jokes aside, yeah, I just do things that are from my heart, and I just hope that it works. I feel like I should share the way I save my files, so if anybody is interested in like following my steps, I could also try and make animatics this way. Let me tell you this. You need to know which part is going to move already when you draw stuff and when you save stuff. So, for example, here I have my background picture, which is going to be static. It's not going to move. Here I save background picture, and make sure that you choose the PNG type file. I think for backgrounds you can use JPEG, but I just save everything in PNG and it's like, yeah, I don't think about it. Later, you need to disable your background pictures and make sure that you have only your moving, I don't know, frame moving part. For this example, here is only Scar, and I don't have anything except him here. And you need to make sure that it also in PNG. And when you save, my program let me choose, like, if I want the transparent background, if I want 24-bit file, all that good stuff. I choose the transparent PNG. The most important part, constructing this all together. I can't say I'm animating this because there's like almost no animation here. It's just video editing. Yeah. While working with this program, you just need to click and drag the pictures and frames into the places where you want them to be. With your storyboards or with the picture that you have inside your brain, you just start to play with this sandbox and with the toys that you have here. I already knew the lyrics and the parts where everything should be, roughly should be, so I start just dragging the background to make it longer, editing where I need my picture of Scargo. In this program we have a beautiful feature called animation, and you have a simple one like bounce and from left to right. It's not working for me. I need more complex stuff. Here you can add your frames, and basically you tell the program where this stuff needs to go, where it needs to stop, and maybe make it a little longer or a little shorter. It's just doing the smooth movements between the frame positions, really smooth and effortless. I like to add subtitles or just any text in general on the frame already as I work. And here you just need to choose the font that you want, the size of it, the color, just play a little bit, and basically you have it. The next steps is just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You're going back to your drawing program and you start on your second frame or your third or fourth, yada yada yada. You also have an option to draw everything first and then edit everything you need to in the program. But I found that I can make some changes in the process and maybe everything is not working out as I thought it would. So for me, it's easier to draw, save, edit, and repeat it again. Draw, save, edit. So that way I have more control over the process, and if I need, I can make changes. If we look at the sunflower animatic, you can see that the project could look like this, with different audio tracks, with different media tracks, and fonts and animations and I don't know, filters. In one part you have like 4 different elements moving somewhere, and you need to make sure it's all working and it's all organic looking. You need to have somewhat okay laptop or PC, because if there's a lot of stuff moving or if there's a lot of elements, your program will lag and you can't really see what's going on in the video itself unless you save it, export it, and then look at the finished product, which is not really time consuming friendly. Yeah, no. Our final You Belong Here animatic file looks like this, and as you can see, that's a lot. We have different frames, we have fonts, we have different effects. Keep in mind that every moving part and piece in every animatics, it's a different frame. I like to have fun with my animatics, and I don't do frame by frame really often because it's time consuming. It's not really rewarding at least I don't think it's really rewarding, but sometimes I do it, and it's just mwah, gives this final sweet piece. I don't have an option for like doubled text thing, so I need to Ctrl C, Ctrl V every text that I have for it to make like this doubled layered effect. You're just choosing different opacity to it, and maybe move it a little bit to the bottom, and you got it. Also, some people noticed, or maybe not, I use different fonts for different characters. For example, for our watchers or like watchers figure thing, I use a font that called TXT. I make it bold, and I think like 80 or something. Yeah, the size 80. For Scar here, I used Tiger font just because it looks pretty and okay-ish. The interesting part about fonts is that for Martin in the Little Wood, I used also TXT font, but I make it not bold, so just less chunky, and it symbolized that he's like the closest god to the Watchers of them all, but it's still not right. It's still not the same. Yep, I like this little thingy, little Easter egg. Going back to the topic of frames, my laptop could struggle when I make a really big amount of frames, and it freezes, and I just can't work really with it. And if audio and the vibe allows me, I like to make it fade to black, and this little black frame here allows me to fade really good from black to my ending frame, ending picture. Saving the final video. When you're done with your file, with your media project, you need to save it correctly. You need to click the top option, Save File into Media File, or whatever. Make sure that the set type is MP4. Then you can name your file whatever you want, where you need to save it. You can choose your quality in which this will be exported and saved. I usually choose the middle ground, the good, but not like the highest, because if you choose the highest, it will take longer and it will wait more. After that, you just need to press the blue button Start, and it'll start exporting it into your final video type, MP4. Exporting and final saving could take a little while. Up to like, 20 minutes, up to 1 hour. It all depends on the video size and length. So while we wait, I like to make a preview for my future animatic in that time. And that's it. After that, you have your final video, you have your preview, and you're free to upload it on YouTube or, I don't know, on Tumblr or Twitter, whatever floats your boat. You're free to do whatever you want. I hope it'll help one or two people out there who asked me that. And maybe this will be helpful for any other people who are interested in making animatics. I'm not using any fancy animation programs, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. On that middle ground, when I trick my brain to thinking that it's easy, my animatics are born.